Previously on After Dark.
What the hell is going? Where are we?
We are in
What?
the black and white dimension.
I don't black and white my ass, man. I don't know.
We went through that Feige nebula.
Okay, why are you in a box? What was that whack ass music though? Like, where's Wallace? Like, can we get? Hold on, Wallace. Play some music, man. It's Thursday though. Fuck it. We in the building. It's your boy Al. This your boy Lavis.
And it's after dark.
It's after dark, baby. And
We have arrived.
So let's get it popping.
So let's get it poppin'.
What's good, man? I mean,
What it is,
What it do? What it do?
We are in the magic of TV land.
Are we not? This is insane.
Feige,
Like what?
Wanda Nebula.
Yeah.
And this is just. I feel like we should put Josh to the test.
Oh
I think
man.
we can see if he can be able to censor himself as strictly as they did back.
I'm
in the
saying. I
1950s.
mean, because Josh likes to use all kind of colorful language and all that. You
All
know.
types of colorful language. We ain't got no color, so there can't be no colorful language.
No colorful language. That... I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
what you did there.
If it's because of the purple. It's because of the purple.
It's purple. Yeah, it's still purple, even if it's black and
It's
white.
still
right?
purple, even
Still
if it's black and
yeah.
white.
Yo, what's the
What it
damn
do?
deal? Man,
What it is,
it's
man.
another Thursday. That's what it is. After
Feel like
dark,
after-
man.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
man, but I'm just wondering, man. Like, I need somebody to tell me what is going on with this whack ass intro music, man. What's
Like
up
just
with
every
this?
week. Every
Look.
week.
We're gonna have to look, Wallace. Can you reach into the archives one time for your mind and give us a little bit something else, man? Can you just do that for me? Drop me something.
Ooh.
What is it? That's more like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that. Gotta wait till we bring it back.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
There you go. Let's let that ride for a little bit.
yeah.
What's good, man? What top billing? Who we
Yeah,
got
man.
with us?
Top billing. So you know what? We have arrived.
Let's get it popping.
Yes, sir. Top billing. We got Tim. What it is, Tim, with the After Dark symbols.
What's
What it
good,
is,
Tim?
man. We got LMI Music. We got Calvin Reed, Ron J, Mike Hawes, the moderator. The
What's
menace.
up, moderator?
I want moderator, man. Let's see else. We got JT, Brad Dolphin, Alex K. What it is, man.
What's
Yeah.
good, y'all?
Pumpkin Escobar, Brandon Jensen, Bruce Almalty, Laura Powell. What's good? What do you do? Yeah.
Indeed.
We got Trevor Brightly, Glenn Peters. Shout out to the homie Lord Vito. He late today? He's late.
Man, what's this? You on Nerdvengers time, Vito? What's good?
Yeah, he thought we was gonna be on Nerdvengers time.
You know what I'm
Nope.
saying?
Nope. Shoot, what else we got? We got Andrew, Grayson, Kale, Honey, Set, Nell, Boogie, Sonya, Andrew, Grayson, Raw. They just pouring in now. Candy, Shannon,
Hey.
Fuego. There's some Star Wars SWT Pro fans. He even got his whole name in there. Look at that. His whole name.
That's what's up.
Luke Skywalker, Stephen J. Y'all popping in with this super chat.
Yeah.
Y'all, Dirt Wizard, what's good? Josh Ceylon, what's up? What's up?
Indeed. What's good? What's good?
Tommy Banana, Rose Soul, Duke Silver Surfer. We got some good names in here.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful Nerdvenger badges. What's up, Star Wars Talk Show? You up in
What's
there?
good? What's good?
Homie Ultra Instinct Iron Spider's back. What's good?
Mm-hmm.
What's good? Just pouring all up in here, man.
Loving it, man. Loving it.
It's like we haven't seen you guys in a while.
It's been a minute, has it not?
It feels like it. It feels like it.
Indeed, it does. Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful day in the Nerdvenger hood.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful day for your Nerdvenger.
Already getting super two ways. Is that what I see already, man?
Already, man. It's coming through. It's coming through. Let's see. We got a bunch of them, man. Should we go ahead and handle these?
Yeah, let's go ahead and handle them, man, and then we get on into this thing.
Right. So top billing on the super chats, we got Lord Vito with the $5 holla. He said, "I am Lord Vito, Lord of all breads and delicious pastries." I believe that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
He got like a Sinbad vibe, so it's like he's on the seven pastries. I feel you, man.
That's just
So
the
we got
facts.
The facts. We got Brian Klein for the phone 99. I see what you did there. He said, "Thank you so much for the much needed distraction from my life right now. Y'all always bring me a big old smile with your humor. Love you, man."
Hey,
Love you
man.
too, man.
Love you right back, bruh.
So
man.
glad we could be here for
Yeah,
you, man.
we share emotions on After Dark. We ain't scared.
We share emotions and emojis.
And
see some
emojis. Let's see some.
It's the purple mains.
Yeah.
We got Big Stevie W with the $25 holla. Thank you, man. He said, "As a massive Star Trek sweaty, I love this. Take my money."
You know what I'm saying?
And
We can switch it up
Ryan
sometimes.
Yeah, man. Then we got Ryan Hernandez coming through, coming to Nerdvenger. Welcome.
Welcome.
You are in Nerdvenger
You are
now.
in Nerdvenger now.
Nerdvenger now. And I'm going to go ahead and handle this. We got Whiskey Steve coming through
Yeah.
with the 499s and ready to chill tonight, man. Cheers. Yes, sir. Cheers.
Cheers indeed,
You know,
sir.
I always got that purple drink, man.
Mhm.
See, look at that.
I'm on
And
my
this week,
hydrate
tell
right
it,
now. I
bro.
think I went a little too hard, so you can't even see what's in here. It's that invisible.
See, I done perfected it. Okay, I even papped it. See,
Papped it? You papped it, huh?
that's how much it's
Add
worth.
that to it. Add that to the
Add
book.
that to it. So I papped it in the Discord on the After Dark. How I make the purple drink.
Oh, you giving out
man.
you giving out the recipe now?
Oh no. Just a very distorted video.
Ah, okay.
Very distorted video.
Okay. I was gonna say we gotta charge them for that, man. Hold on.
Nah. We just charge them up.
There you
That's how
go.
we do.
There you go.
What up, Jason Strope? We see you, man. We see you. So we had a bit of a small bit of a crazy week, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
do you think it was a bigger crazy week with all that nerdy news that's just
Well, in natural white Suge fashion, I'm starting to think, man. I'm starting to really think White Suge might be checking After Dark out.
I think he is.
Because last week we had the show planned, and he decided to drop some news on Thursday.
Yeah.
This week we had the show planned, and he dropping news on Thursday. He must know something.
He know what it is. He's
he
like, let White Suge go ahead and bless him.
Yeah, hey, look, White Suge, we appreciate you because you just keep us with something to talk about. And
let's see some of them White Suge emojis,
let's
man.
get them White Suge emojis, man. Let's get them White Suge emojis up in here while we get into this, man. So
you broke Vengers, pop in some smiley faces. That's fine.
So, we had already heard about Chris Evans and being in talks to come back as Cap. We touched on that last week.
This is true.
But we get a little more detail about just in what capacity he might be coming back.
Oh,
Word
yes,
on
we
the
did.
word in them streets is that it might be as Hydra Cap.
Oh, okay.
Might be
Hydra
some
Cap.
Hydra Cap action going on.
I would have to say that I'm not surprised in that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so Hydra Cap. We got Hydra Cap, and then apparently we got what? US Agent. That's supposed to be the other Cap.
Yes.
Are we gonna get them two fighting? Or are we gonna get old man Cap as Hydra Cap? Or did somehow we get a young Captain America to come back and join Bucky and Falcon? Like, what is going on with that? Like, why is everything so crazy? Why is everything so crazy? Is it because of Wanda in the multiverse?
It's got. I think that's what it is, man. I think that's what it is. And look, that is the power of White Suge. We on the throwback set, ready for WandaVision. Another episode coming tonight. We got the watch party for the community. Then we recapping that late at night, early in the morning, depending on how you're looking at things. And we didn't even lead the show with that because White Suge like, nah, y'all gonna talk about Cap again.
Yes. We said again. We're gonna make sure that we give you something fresh.
Yeah, man. And that's what it's crazy because, like, again, I am the MCU. I'm the Marvel Swarmy. So, like, when I hear Hydra Cap, I'm like, oh, is that what we doing? And then I'm texting you like, so what's the deal with Hydra Cap?
Right. So Hydra Cap, man, like that is some kind of that's very implicated because so we have Sword of Sorts on the WandaVision right now, and then we have Hydra Cap, which means that we're going to get some Hydra back in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And Hydra Cap, so the thing about that is, yeah, there was a small period of time where the Cap that you saw in the elevator in Endgame when he's like, Hail Hydra was, it was true. But he did eventually break free of that. So it's like, where are they going to go with that in the Falcon and Winter Soldier? Could that be why we have trips to places like the rumored Madripoor to where they have to try to reverse it? Or even better, what if Hydra Cap is a brainwashed Skrull?
Man, see, look, now you just trying to blow it all out the water, man. Like,
hey, that's what
I didn't even know this ship could get to Speculation Town, but you just took us all the way there.
Yeah,
like
all the way.
But it's crazy because, like I said, I'm not too keen on the historical significance of Hydra Cap, but that just lets me know when I hear that, I'm like, they pulling out all the stops now. Like, if this is where they going with it, then Feige ain't here to play no games. Like for real.
Man.
And
man.
It's wild because that ain't even it, man. I heard whispers today too that White Suge might already know who he wants as Wolverine, and it's nobody we've been speculating.
Well, yeah, it's actually nobody we've been speculating at all. And at the same time, that again doesn't surprise me, but it's like, will we get it?
That's the thing. Will we get that? And this is all speculation again. We just hear things in the streets and we report what we hear, so you can take it with a grain of salt, however you want to do that. But apparently my man wants Hugh Jackman back. This is not a drill. The streets is talking. And the word is bird. Bird is the word. And Feige trying to get Hugh Jackman. Bro, what in the hell is this man trying to do other than take over the game?
I will tell you.
What is he doing, bro?
He's trying to politely monopolize without actually having to buy up any property. He's just he's playing with his toys.
Yes.
He's playing with all his toys. Like, you know how you walk in the room and you see a 4-year-old in the room, he got all his toys everywhere. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
With all these toys. And you come back and all of a sudden, little person got the whole little tribe and everything. They got houses over there. They got people over there dancing somehow for toys and animate objects.
That was Feige, bro. You talking about Feige at 4 years old, bro? He was that dude. He had this whole universe planned out. Had the action figures and you're gonna be in Endgame, and we're gonna do. Like I'm telling you, man, this dude was all over it, man. Like you can't deny this man. But like Hugh Jackman, and think about it. We already have, and the actor's name slips my mind, but Quicksilver from the X-Men movies, the reboot, is supposedly making an appearance in WandaVision. So that's setting a precedent already for us to get some of these Fox versions of characters that we got from the past. And I think when you start thinking about Secret Wars and all of that, like you got to think that all of those characters are on the table, if nothing else for a cameo. Mm-hmm. But dude, could you imagine if we got Hugh Jackman
now
in the MCU with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, bro, and we finally get, look, I can't even.
I mean, like this, because that could go like one or two ways. Okay, so that can go one or two ways. The one way to me it could go is like you said, you get him in a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the glimpse of maybe like the Fox universe, and so they brought back some of them actors, and that's why you're getting Quicksilver and even possibly Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Maybe he wants him back as Wolverine, but it's only like cameo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We'll come back to this. Or they could bust the multiverse wide open and almost everything that that was good. Now, and I'll give Fox a teeny tiny little bit of credit. Okay, teeny tiny bit. You don't get all that much. You get a tiny bit. Some of it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe not in entirety, but there were certain things that were in there
in those movies that
if they had just taken that and went this way with it,
yes,
that wouldn't have been it. Like I like the Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Okay.
But I'm not a huge fan of it for the same reason why everybody else is. We got to, like Josh was going off about earlier, we got to cloud Galactus. How you make Galactus a cloud? Like, what are you thinking?
Hey, man.
Period.
The same way you make, now his name is slipping my mind, Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 84. He was the same way you make him the character from the Care Bears movie. Like, I ain't gonna let that go, y'all. I ain't gonna let that go.
But it could be better.
Yeah, it could.
Life is good, but it could be better.
Could be better. Hey,
could be better. But I think Feige is going to be doing that. He's going to be doing what's better. So like he could explode the multiverse, and we get these characters back.
Yes.
In full continuity. But the storylines are better. You know what I'm saying? We get that good looking Silver Surfer. I thought Silver Surfer looked good actually for that time period.
No, I'm right there with you on that. I'm right there with you.
But that storyline, though.
Shout to Bruce Almighty, Max Lord. You are absolutely correct, Max Lord. That's why I love the community, man. They get us. That's 500 to you. 500.
500.
Yes, sir.
I got 5 on it. Good job, buddy.
Ba-dum-bum. Man, but like, yeah, it's crazy. Like this whole like just thinking about the fact that you got Cap potentially coming back, playing Hydra Cap, like that's on some Dark Avengers type shit. Like you going way down. Now, of course, I had to chop it up real quick with the captain himself of us Nerdvengers, one Josh. And Josh, he stayed with the theories and postulating and doing all of that, man. And we got to talking about, what is Feige? Is Feige trying to bury DC? But Josh brought up an interesting point. He doesn't think it's DC. He thinks that it's Feige versus Warner Brothers. And that
Feige, that makes better sense.
Yeah, exactly. And that Feige's trying to put it to Warner Brothers and let them know, hey, you're not just gonna come around here trying to throw some weight around. Let me show you. We've been doing things around here for a minute. And it's crazy because there could be a situation where you start having these DC directors doing Marvel movies. Like imagine that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know because and here's why. It's because like they haven't really had too many good movies,
Okay.
and that could just be a testament of the fact that Warner Brothers isn't doing good with their properties and handling their people the best of ways,
Mm-hmm.
or that could be that Marvel just got all the good writers and DC just Warner Bros. Got all the shitty ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I mean, like I said, Wonder Woman wasn't all that great, but we're gonna get Patty Jenkins doing a Star Wars movie, and I guess we'll get to see if it was Wonder Woman and Warner Brothers and what they were doing, or if it's just Patty Jenkins.
There you go, you thunder stealing motherfucker. You just
Oh,
stole my theory.
Did I steal your theory?
You did it again. You did it again.
I want Lavis Blackman. That's gonna be out here soon.
You're damn right. But no, because that's my thing. Is like Feige is the type of cat that's like, I'm gonna take your directors, I'm gonna take your writers, and we gonna show you how to make a movie that pops. We gonna show you how to make a movie that everybody's down with. We gonna show you how to do it right. So for that reason alone, I could totally see it, because I'm convinced at this point this man is going for the throats.
See, and even on that, I don't even think does he even really have to? Like,
it's not about have to.
Right, I'm saying, you think he's doing it because he's trying to do it, or you think he's just doing it because
he's doing it because he can. Because he can.
His thug thizzle.
That's it. That's it. White. That's the exactly. White Suge.
When you get coffee and you're like, I want it sweeter, he just sticks his finger in it and just swirls it around.
Look,
White Suge.
White Suge make moves, and then he look across at WB and just be like,
"What you gonna do? What you gonna do?"
And they that's it. The sprinkle, baby. They can't even. You can't even fool with it. It's like, White should be on some. He on a whole nother level, man. We used to say 6D chess. I don't even think he playing the game no more. Like, Feige just got all the cheat codes and just like, you know what? I'm skipping all the way to the end because I ain't got time to be doing this shit with y'all. Let me let you know.
The sad part, I guess, about it is when you really look at it is the fact that Marvel has a White Suge, but WB ain't got no Diddy.
No,
that's what they need. They need a Diddy. Even
no.
Though,
see, the problem is they do got a Diddy, but you know they do got a Diddy. They whole staff is Diddy's because you know what they doing? They sampling the shit out of Marvel. Marvel do their vision like, oh, we finna do the Justice League right now. Sample that. Like take all of these characters, put them all together, and voila, we got it. That's all they doing, man. That's all they doing.
Horrible remixes going on over there.
They are terrible remixes, bro. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, man. I don't know, but all I'm saying is Feige does it again, man. He does it again.
Feige for the win.
All day. You cannot stop it.
Do you expect it to be any other way though right now? Like,
no.
Like, there's too much whining going on over there on Warner Brothers soil right now.
Whining.
Whining.
Man.
Yes,
no.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna tell you what. Every time Warner Brothers see MCU news, they be in there like they just die. It's like a Street Fighter death. They just it's a Street Fighter death every time. Every single time they end up, it's like more moves. Yes. Feige going for the perfect. Like he want the game to be like perfect. That's what he wants. It ain't enough to just get the KO. He like, I want perfect.
Right, exactly. And he's gonna keep going in with them uppercuts and them Shrinyukens
all day. He gonna be hitting them with them all day.
He gonna look at what WB and be like, that's all you get.
That's all. Like, for real. But we got to look. Let's be nice. Well, you know what? Let's get some of these Super 2-ways out the way, and then we'll be nice, and we'll give DC a little bit of shine. Because they did have a little news that kind of made my heart race just a tad bit.
So we'll return right after these messages.
There it is.
So,
we
got Glenn with the $1.99. He said, I'd for sure pay for the purple drink recipe. See, we was just talking about this.
See, exactly.
No. I don't know. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to pay for it. We went through a lot to get this purple drink recipe. This is why
You have no idea what it took to get the recipe for this shit.
no. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day we'll show you. Tell you. Maybe.
One day.
Maybe.
It's in the books. It was recorded, but we gotta search the archives, put everything back in order.
Put everything in order. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. But next we got T Rev with the $5 holla. Thank you, man. He said, "What do you think about a Black Ops Cap and Wolverine movie or a show set in the 50s, 60s, or 70s? 2 Caps in the timeline now, one in ice and one with 40s Peg." Oh, okay. So pretty much, I guess that would be the Wolverine meeting up with the 40s Peggy, obvious. Because the one on ice, what we got to always remember is the one on ice is the one that actually went down with the ship in the actual continuity of things. And so him going back, and even though if you have to look at it as, I guess for Peggy, he didn't really die, but dude, she couldn't talk about it. Like that whole thing's weird. We're not going to bust into that. But how I would feel about a Cap and Wolverine movie or show, in my opinion, set in those time periods, I think, especially if it was a trilogy, maybe they did the 50s, 60s, and 70s all together. That would be dope.
I'd be here for it. I'd be here for it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of dope to see how they would interact with each other. And it would be kind of weird, though, because with the fact that they weren't able to actually procure X-Men and those characters until now, and now have to actually explain it, would Wanda or whatever she's going through bust open to the point where it's just not open in the multiverse, but it's affecting the timeline of things to where this is possible? Or what?
It could be. I mean,
T-Rev, what do you think, Al?
I don't know, man. I don't think they'll go that far into where you start having like timeline implications, because then you start really getting like super duper sweaty. And I think the multiverse concept is already going to be a lot for the normies to take in. So I don't think they'll go that, not yet. Like maybe later down the line, once we kind of understand the rules that are at play, maybe. But no, I think this is going to be full on like the Cap thing. We could be talking about, Cap from who knows what reality, you know what I'm saying? Right. And the crazy part about it is there's so many different possibilities because of the way that they set up, quote unquote time travel in Endgame, and him being able to hop through, the multiverse. Like it could, it's different branching timelines to where he could, show up and at any point.
So I'd say then if they were to do that I would actually like to see that more of a TV show than 3 movies.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way. Maybe they go through and show and answer the question of how did Cap return Mjolnir and the stones, especially when it comes to the Soul Stone. Yeah. Like, how do you get that back and still not get, Romanoff back? You don't get Black Widow back.
Exactly.
You return that, and you don't get her back. That right there deserves some questions answerings, man. It's totally what it does. At least to me.
Hell yeah, no, you're right on with it.
They're flowing with these. They're totally flowing with these super chats too. Let's see.
Love it, man. Love it.
We got Dumb, Deaf, and Blind as a new member. Welcome. You are
Nerdvenger now.
Let's see here. We got Rogue Soul with the $5 holla. Says something tells me it's more the executives like KK making DC movies what they are. At least I hope, for the sake of Rogue Squadron. What do you make of that, Al? It ended in Star Wars, so I have to throw it at you.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, it's like I can see where they're coming from. I mean, the executives, it like with the DC movies, you could definitely tell that they're not able to make the movies they want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at what happened with Zack Snyder and the Justice League. Like, he submitted a movie that got turned into something completely different. And they kind of ran him off for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely got a lot of that, I feel like, going on with DC. But I think it's not so much the executives making the movies, but not letting the directors or the writers really bring to life the movie that they envision. And I think that's the problem. It's not so much you got executives over there saying, no, we're going to do the movie this way. They're saying it's kind of like, no, we like that, but could you? It's like, yeah, we digging that, but we think that need more cowbell. And you like, bro,
right, I got you. Yeah.
Let me live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what I think it's more of that. I think it's a little more of that.
That makes perfect sense, man. Okay, well, let's see what we got next, man. We got Jonathan Velasquez with the $2 holla said,
appreciate you.
Feige makes more news by not answering questions. This is
facts. This is facts.
This is very true. That's you take that down and you make sure you put that in the notes. And whenever somebody asks you a question, you don't answer it, or you answer it with the question. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I feel like there's a wall somewhere in Feige's estate that has a saying on the wall
all around it.
Yeah, probably, but no, I'm talking about like he probably got it etched in gold somewhere where it say real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah, I bet too.
That's the way Feige be getting down, man. Like Feige's just straight up gangster with it.
Yeah, it's right. It's right under the picture of him with the crown on it, like Biggie.
Exactly. All day.
He's got like a huge smile. You know how Feige does. He's got a huge smile. I can totally see that. We got OG fan for $2. Said Thunder stealing Mother Bleeper. It's Mother Blicker. He said, my new superhero. Hey, I do what it do.
I'm with that. Just make sure I get a producer's credit.
Right.
That's all I'm asking.
You'll be in there. We was in the credits on the intro.
And a cameo.
Right. Anytime somebody says cameo, I think of what was those little candies? The Camarellos or something.
Oh yeah. I thought you was about to hit me with some cameo for real. I was like, okay.
Hey. Delicious. Anyway,
it's just like candy.
Right. Candy.
Ow. Strawberry. Raspberry.
Tommy banana with the $5.
There you go.
So y'all excited about the Mortal Kombat movie? It's a Warner Brothers movie, so I'm a little skeptical. I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not that skeptical about it. I'm not gonna say I'm excited for it. I'm interested to see how it go. But the last Warner Brothers Mortal Kombat movie was that animated joint. I think it was Revenge of Scorpion. That if it's anything like that, hey, sign me the F up, because that's the way I want to see Mortal Kombat.
So I guess when it really comes down to it, like I'm not skeptical of the Mortal Kombat movie because they don't really seem to mess up stuff that's outside of DC properties for some reason.
Yeah, that's facts.
They actually do have good, solid movies, but it's just when it comes to DC.
I think the DC thing is a unique situation with them because a lot of the mistakes that they make, I think, are a result of them trying to chase Marvel and Disney.
Right. Yeah.
And because of that, it's what causes these executives to want to be all in the movie, dancing, singing,
all up in the camera. And Feige be like, if you want to come somewhere where you get to actually be the star of your own Marvel movie, instead of having WB all up in the camera and dancing, you come over here to Marvel.
That's it.
We hold you down.
That's it. All day.
That's what we do. We got OG fan coming back with the $2. He says sugar water purple. Love after dark purple drink. Yeah, man. It's after dark purple drink. Ain't nothing like no sugar water purple.
Oh man. Tell him one more time. Right now. It's nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that, man.
No, you know what we had to do? We had to jazz it up.
Right, you gotta jazz it up.
Jazz it up. Put
purple drink.
Purple drink. It's after dark.
Ain't no Zatarans. It's purple drink now.
Oh,
it's been purple drink. He was practicing for this moment.
Exactly.
We're gonna start having our own little purple drink commercials.
That's it.
Pop it off. So I see we got a $3.99, and it says this Hydra's still around in Earth 616, but for some reason. And it's been a while since he's made a little mistake. but for some reason Chet has cut off the name, and I can't see.
Oh, that was Nail Boogie.
Was it Nail Boogie?
That was Nail Boogie with that one.
Well, good job. Good job.
I got
Good
you
job,
back,
man.
man.
Nail Boogie,
You know, I'm right there with you, Jack.
Right. He jazzed it up. He said, is Hydra still around in Earth 616 universe? Now if we're talking like actual comic continuity, I would have to actually look that up to see if nowadays they're still around. But the best thing that I can say is we never get a Hydra body. We get a bunch of bodies from Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
So ask yourself, is Hydra still around? You cut off one head and you get another. Can't get rid of Hydra, man.
No.
Can't get rid of Hydra.
No.
So that should answer your question just enough. Unless Al got something else.
No, that's it, man. You said everything that needed to be said.
Right, that's what I thought. We got Mike Porter with the $5.99. Said cool shades, Alan Lavis. Lots of love to both of you guys. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Glass half full. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's see. We got Dirt Wizard 499. Said Wolverine versus Hulk movie. Wolverine shows up and basically taunts Professor Hulk until he snaps back into the Rage Monster Hulk. Blick blick, stay saucy. You stay saucy. I always stay saucy.
I stay saucy.
Dripping. So Wolverine shows up, basically taunts Professor Hulk until he snaps back into the Rage Monster Hulk. No. I like the fact that we want the Rage Monster Hulk, and I like the fact that we got Wolverine showing up. But I see that, and I raise you that Professor Hulk loses control, trying to become more Zen, and becomes the Rage Monster Hulk, and they have to hire Wolverine to hunt him and take him back down.
Oh,
now that's a Wolverine versus Hulk movie for me.
That one might get me back into theaters.
Yeah, that most definitely would get me. Imagine like a Hugh Jackman Predator-esque Hulk versus Wolverine.
Get out of my head, Charles.
I'm gonna have me some fun. Oh
man, bro, hey, I am so with that shit.
Yeah, that sounds Keaton Haas. That's what it sounds like. $5 holla. He said, I'm loving the shades, guys. Nice hat, Al.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man.
I don't think I spied your hat. What you got?
Man, you know, I got the balance, man. I got, half and half.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta rock the balance.
I don't drink coffee, so that's why I didn't notice it.
It's all good.
All right, we're going to Justin Chandler with the $5. He said, my dogs, another Thursday, another Mayne Gang Unite meeting. Yeah, my eyes to see. I can read. He said, speaking of DC animated movies, have y'all watched Batman Soul of the Dragon Mayne Gang? Now, Al, I remember you said something about that movie. Did you catch it? Did you watch it?
No, not this one. I haven't seen Soul of the Dragon. I'm going to have to check that one out. No, the two that I just watched was The Death of Superman and The Reign of Superman. Those two joints. Like, I don't understand why DC just doesn't adapt what they do with those animated movies in some kind of way, because those animated movies be slapping, man. They be like, and speaking of, I think that's a hell of a way for us to go right into giving DC just a little bit of love, because we did get a little bit of DC news this week.
Yes, we did.
It seems that DC is considering bringing back Batman the Animated Series.
Most definitely. So with that being said, I want to say, for you guys in the Super Two-Way land, if you guys want to see Batman the Animated Series come back in its own full glory, because we all know that was the best, I want to see some of them smash emojis. Put some smash emojis in there. But if you don't think that's a good idea, you think they should let that ride out, just stay dead, then let me see some of them Josh Rage emojis.
Yeah. I got to even get in on this one, man. I had to even get in on this one.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what? I'm gonna have to second that.
This is all in my childhood. I used to come home and make sure I was in the crib so I could catch Batman. I mean, in my opinion,
right there with you, man.
That is the quintessential Batman and the quintessential Joker. Because Mark Hamill killed that ish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Man, and look, funny little side note. I did not know that was Mark Hamill until like at least 12, 13 years after the fact.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Yeah, it took me a long
When
time.
I found out Mark Hamill did that voice, I damn near died.
Yeah. Totally got to give the boy some love, man, because he was killing that.
Dude, it was so amazing.
I have a couple questions here. So I see OG fan. He popped into Smash, but he put in a couple of rage emojis in there. And then Jonathan Velasquez, he's just raging out like y'all don't want to see it. OG fan, like you want to half see it. Like I'm a little confused. I thought that the animated series was like the best when they I like even when they kind of switched it over to the newer animation where he was just like gray and black instead of the old school one. I still hung in there. Those were still good, but the original ones with the Clayface story, like that was one of the best animated DC shows to where not only did you get the IP of Batman and seeing him be Batman, because it's a cartoon, it's easy to do that. But like the characters had substance.
Yes.
And that's something that you really don't get too much of in a lot of today's cartoons, a lot of today's stories that they try to tell, period, in that direction. You don't get substance with your characters.
Right.
So and I'm gonna give shout outs and props to the man Paul Dini because Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn made her debut on Batman the Animated Series. And look how big she's gotten today.
And you can't tell me that's not from that.
Right. All you guys who love your Arkham games, if you played 1 through all of them, which like I have, and you've gotten 200% to 240% like I have, you give the man Paul Dini some credit because them stories, especially Arkham City was fire. Bruh, if you didn't like Arkham City.
Man, boys don't understand, man. They just don't understand.
That was the closest. Like even Arkham, the first one, Arkham Asylum, like even that story was like the first time that you actually got to play a like 3D version of the Batman animated series. To me, that's what it felt like.
Yes.
Then they gave you the skin in Arkham City where you could actually play as the character. Oh my gosh,
dude, that's what I'm saying, and it's just it just blows my mind that they have it. They seem like they nail it on the animated side. Like, shout out to Justin Chandler, just hit us with the $2 Super Two-Way. Said, how does DC kill animated movies but not live? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, I don't understand what it is that they can't seem to get right. But like, I don't know who it was, but I saw somebody in the Two-Way said, no thanks, they'll ruin it. I don't think so, because the one thing that they get right is the animation. Like I said, I just checked that Reign of Superman movie was from 2019, and that was a damn good story. Like that was, and like I for me, somebody who doesn't really get too deep into the DC comics, like for me, that would make me want to go back and read more on that storyline and the characters that were in that, because I want to know, that Lex Luthor, that Superboy. Like I want more from them, because the story made me want to get invested in those characters. So and I feel like with the Batman, bringing back Batman the animated series, there's so many stories that they could still tell that they didn't tell.
Yeah, they didn't tell. Yeah,
and they could, and just all you got to do is bring back the same voices, which they could certainly still do it.
Still do.
You know what I'm saying? My man, is it Kevin Conroy, I believe?
Yep, Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy can still do it. Mark Hamill can still do it.
He'll probably most definitely come back. I think they was talking to him maybe a couple years ago, a year or so ago by now. And yeah, he was like, I would totally come back and play the Joker. So they could totally do that. And I believe a lot of the other voice actors, they're still around. So it's possible.
So
man.
They could do it, man. And it's just don't try to get outside of what made the original so great. And lean into, if it's gonna be on HBO Max, lean into the violence a little bit more. Like, don't have Batman wilding, but like but which they did. If you watch that, if you go back and you watch that Reign of Superman movie, they leaned into the violence on those movies. Like they didn't shy away from it. So
the animated movies, they are, some of those are brutal.
Yeah,
Flashpoint, one of the most brutal ones, if you ask me. Flashpoint's brutal.
So as long as they keep that formula, I don't see how they could ruin it. I really don't. Now, if they get in there and start trying to update it and we want to give you a new anime, nah, bro, then get at a different name.
What I'm low key worried about when it comes to that is the animation. Are they going to bring back the old animation that we're used to, or are they going to do maybe like an updated version of it, but still call it the animated series?
Yeah,
Those are the types of questions that I kind of have. I wouldn't mind it still looking like the old '90s version, but being realistically, I still will watch and accept it if they do everything else and just update the animation. I'll still.
Well, for me, if they keep the anime, they could keep the animation the same as they did in the two Superman movies I just watched. Because that to me looked like it was an evolution of the animation from Batman the animated series, in my opinion. At least that's the way I felt. Like it didn't have as much of the noir vibe to it, of course, because it's a different type of movie. But all you would have to do is kind of slap that type of a vibe on it, and you got like an adult version of Batman the animated series that people would be lining up to try to watch. Like you'd be watching that like crazy. People be binge watching that like crazy.
I think that's another thing about it too. Like for it to come back, I think they should go to make it more adult, more kind of a drama. Like that was like the most adult thing for kids.
Yes.
Me ever. Like and just like even my brother we talk about that, and he's like, he was like 3, 4, 5, 6 watching Batman. Starting off how I was young when it came out, and it was like, but you were following those stories, and those are some real complex stories. I was like, I know, but the way that they told those stories, it was Batman. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't some kind of like Brave and the Bold. Like we didn't get no Brave and the Bold Batman.
Right.
We got an adult version to where it was like, hey, if you were a mature child, you're definitely gonna love these. I seen Midnight came in earlier talking about they should bring back the Spectacular Spider-Man. That was another one too that had great storyline and the characters had substance. So I'm here for it. I'm down for definitely all of that. I would love to see it come back.
No doubt.
In full form.
But yeah, that's
Nikki with the 1999 two-way super chat. Thank you very much. Nikki, what up? What's good?
What's good, Nick?
She said showing love on this fine Friday Eve. Shouts to Nerdvengers and Broke Vengers. Hearts. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I like it. I like it. That's what's up, man. But yeah, it's, I had to give DC a little bit of love, man. But ultimately, until they get the live action straight, it's always going to be kind of the black cloud that hangs over DC.
Yeah.
You got to get that right.
That speaks to the divisiveness of the company, though, if you ask me. So, like, they got Feige, he's over the toys, he's over the comics, he's over the movies, you know what I'm saying? And they got one person who's steering all that in at least one kind of a direction and different.
Right. That's
where
what
it
you
needs
need.
to be. And, like, they ain't got nobody like that over on WB. They got, like, their own little comic section that's doing its own thing. The movies might be in tandem a little bit with those comics because some of those writers, they get to go back and forth in those platforms. But when it comes to getting those writers to come back and forth on the movie level, I think is where they're lacking.
Yeah, I agree.
They're giving it to too many of these other director producers, and they're just not. To me, I don't feel like they're in it for the love of comics. They're not in it for the love of that character from the comics, even if they might have actually loved that character from the comics. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to do it because it's a Batman, because it's a Flash, because it's Aquaman, but they may not be all the way in it from like the lore of the comics to be like, seeing Aquaman and like I actually think Aquaman. I'll take that back. Aquaman's story was good, and the way that they're spinning him and making him more of the pirate version kind of. I think that's way better than, of course, any other iteration besides the animated.
Yeah, like I agree.
Throne of Atlantis, that was a good one. Seeing him in Flashpoint being as brutal as he was, that was a good one. I think they're doing a better job.
Yeah, I think the only DC character from this newest iteration of these live action movies, I would say I had a problem with maybe was Cyborg, because I just thought that they tried to he was too generic. He was generic.
In my opinion, the biggest problem with Cyborg is that they tried to make him too much of a dramatic character. They took him a little bit too much out of his element. You know what I'm saying? Like to see Cyborg do the booyahs and be facetious and make jokes and stuff like that all the time. I mean, maybe they could have built into that or whatever the case. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, I feel like they made him a little too dark. He is like the epitome of, I have nothing in this world because I'm not human anymore.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's used to seeing Cyborg in a lot of other iterations. Maybe he's a little serious. Like, I think he was in the Titans movie or whatever for a moment or two. He's older, so he wasn't a Titan, but he was a little serious, but he still had a joking side. You know what I'm saying? He has a very good light side to him at the same time. And I feel like with the Ray Fisher character, and I think that's probably the problem. I think more or less, if you want me to bust down what I think the Ray Fisher problem is, like the fact he was like, oh, I'm not ever going to say booyah. Like, it's not degrading because you say booyah. Like,
the character
Cyborg
says
was
it.
like, yeah, but he was like the epitome of a young teen, I love to be black character. I never got a young teen, here, do this because we want you to dance character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I enjoy seeing Cyborg on Teen Titans, both iterations, where he's like booyah and like eating pizza and getting it in with Beast Boy. Like, I like that version of him. And I feel like they probably tried to make it a little bit like that, but an adult version, and he just wasn't trying to fly because he was like, oh, you're not going to make me like this meta black guy in a movie.
Yeah.
And whether that was interpreted to be quote unquote racist is how I think is where all this Ray Fisher stuff is coming from. And that's why I'm calling it whiny. That's why I'm saying they're whining over there. It's because, like, dude, that's the character. Just play the damn character.
Yeah, hey man, you said it. You said
that's
it,
what
man.
grinds my gears.
Hey, but no, that's what's up though. But I think you speak for a lot of us that look at it and it's just like, it's one thing, and that's the thing, is it's like, because people get this twisted all the time. But it's a difference between playing into the stereotype and embracing the stereotype.
Right.
It's a completely different situation. When you playing into it, you doing exactly like you were talking about. That's when you dancing and trying to, get the attention and do whatever. When you lean into it, when you embrace it, it's like, you know what? No, like, this is what makes us or makes me as an individual great. This is what makes me unique. This is what makes me special. This is what makes you want to tune in and see me, is this right here. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different thing, because at that point you're owning it. Like, you claiming it as your own, and it doesn't matter what anybody says at that point, because you know that it's authentic. But that's the word right there. It's the authenticity. You gotta be real. If you keep it a buck with people, if the person that you put out there or the character that you display is true to the heart of who that character is or who that person is, then you can't go wrong with that. But when you try to take it and turn it into something it's not, that's when, it starts to get kind of iffy, and you just can't really, people see that. And I think you hit it right on the head when you said that. Like, that's why that character just didn't really do it for a lot of fans, is because you could see through what he was trying to make him out to be.
I got the fix for him right now.
Tell it.
They need to cast you as Cyborg and me as Beast Boy. That's it, right there. And if y'all agree out there in the two-way, let me see some purple Mayne emojis.
Booyah!
Right, I think totally.
Look, I'm here.
Did you ever catch? So like, a little off topic, but still on topic. Like, did you ever catch the new Teen Titans Go?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you after this. But there is an episode on there, and that's what got me starting to watch it, because I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, at all. I didn't care about no Teen Titans Go. I like the original Teen Titans.
Okay.
Where it was kind of like a teen drama.
Yeah.
They have an episode called TV Night 2. And they was doing like little music cameos on there.
Okay.
The first couple are cheesy. They got like the batarang and the boombox dancing, and it's like hard, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But Beast Boy had his own little skit where he's riding in the whip with Raven. And I swear, I think they got Big Sean to do that whole little skit. I promise you. Like, wait till you hear it, like, you're gonna be like, that's gotta be Big Sean. Like, they murdered that.
Share that with me. I need to see this, man. I need to see this.
Teen Titans Go. I think I see Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans versus the Teen Titans. I've seen that one.
Okay.
I still want to watch the movie Whiskey Steve, but Teen Titans Go to TV show.
Yeah.
Like after that, I started paying a little more attention. And the first season still is hilarious. You know, they got Robin waiting in the car to try to like create crime because they ain't got crime or whatever. He's bopping in the car. They put some rap music on and he's getting. I was like, okay,
that's what's up.
I can get behind this show. So I enjoy it in a different way. But
yeah, matter of fact, we got some people asking for it in the chat. This is what we'll do. We'll throw it in the After Dark Discord. If you want to see it, drop that in the After Dark Discord. Hey man, and what we ought to do is we've been talking about doing this watch party After Dark edition. We throw that on the list.
Most definitely, I'm down with that.
Out, man. We can do that. I'm with it.
Y'all like to see that? Let's get some. Let's see some Iron Man emojis if y'all down.
If y'all down with that.
Discord, man. I think there's a pinned little message up there from the moderator that you can join the Discord. And the moderator, although he's a menace, he has his good moments. He's popping in it right there. Join the Discord.
There we go.
Do it.
Shout out to the moderator.
Most definitely.
So what you think, man? You think we made him wait long enough? Get these few super chats out the way and get into this WandaVision?
Most def, man. You wanna lead off with them super chats?
Yeah, let me make sure I ain't miss none. You know, I don't know if we got dumb, deaf, and blind with the $2 super two-way. Said Aquaman felt like an MCU movie. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Closest, I agree with that. Most definitely.
100. Yep. No. Then we got the homie Kendall Davis with the $4.99 super two-way. Appreciate you, bruh. Says super chat just for that track reference. Please play it.
Oh,
we're gonna have to work on that.
I'm looking for it right now. Actually, it's because it's on YouTube. The little skit that I'm talking about is called "Catching Villains."
Oh, okay.
And I won't be catching villains.
That's what's up. Well, while you looking, I'm gonna get Tommy Banana with the $2 super two-way. Said, watch Young Justice. If you haven't, guys, Cyborg is great. I will have to check that out because I have not seen it, but I will definitely give it a look. That's real.
Okay, so I mean I got the link, Al. Do you think you want to go ahead and you want to feature people here, or
we could drop it right here and give the people a little sample of it then?
Okay, I mean it's not that long. So here it is. I'm gonna pop it to you over there where we chatting at. You know where we be at.
Already know.
Go ahead and get up in that. And while he's doing that, if you guys really want to see this reference, man, especially since Kendall Davis kind of he did kind of pay for it. He did kind of super chat it. Let's see some of them. Let's see some of them. Just a matter of fact, now fuck it. Let's see some Nerdvengers.
Let's see. Is that it?
Yes, it's totally.
We ain't gotta keep this on the low. Don't do it fast. We can take it slow. Show you things that you ain't seen before. Before you go, you ought to know.
I tell you.
Be catching villains. But she got me catching villains.
Hey, this got me into it.
Catching villains.
Hey, low key, I'm feeling this for real.
Wait till it drop.
Pull up. Now we cruising in the wind. She just couldn't wait to get out. She texting all of her friends. Like, look at the whip that we in. We coolin' for the weekend. Drop the top and then we out. We do this every season. Sunshades on the sunny days. Doing 80 and we switching lanes. Just keep it cool and chillin' with the babe. Don't call my phone out here. What you say? What you say? We ain't gotta keep this on the low. Don't do it fast.
I'm gonna just let it rock, bro.
Hey, it's not that long. Almost over it.
Before you go, you ought to know. I want you catching villains. But she got me catching villains.
That's it right there. That's it. Hey, the next one that comes after is hard too. But that's
what's up, bro. Like now you got me wanting to check this out, man. Look,
I see. That's what happened with me too. The first couple of episodes, it still wrote me in. I ain't gonna lie, like they're all not like the best, but after you get past like the first 3 and you like it, you're just like, forget it. I'm just gonna, this is something I just watch casually. I like watching a lot, as like ambiance and stuff like that. But even then, like certain things would pop on and I'd be like, hold up, I got to go back and check this episode out.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they got it going.
I like that. Fire.
Try to tell you.
Straight fire.
Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
You might actually want to go.
See, look at that, man. We can give DC some love, man. We gave them a whole 30 minutes.
28 seconds.
30 minutes. Well, I'm talking about the whole damn segment, man. We look.
Yeah,
Y'all make sure you make the checks payable to Lavis Blackman and EP Al Shula, DC. You welcome.
Yes, sir. You welcome. Cause like what? The homie Josh won't even touch DC. Like
no, nah, man. Look, Josh ain't even trying to fuck with Star Wars right now, which
I know.
I got some opinions on that, but we gonna say that for afternoon. I'm gonna save
Yeah.
my where the Star Wars at though rant for.
He's coming around now. I seen him on Twitter talking about, okay, should I talk about Star Wars now?
Man.
You know what? When we go back and we talk about how we acquired the purple, that might inspire him to talk about.
Yes, it will. That might definitely be what gets him back. I think that's gonna be a game changer.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, we here tonight with the congregation.
The congregation.
It is time for WandaVision. It is premiere night.
Yes.
So that means we will be late in the midnight hour.
Yep. Most definitely.
Some of you might have to get your naps. Some of you might need your caffeine. Some of you might need to hit the Siftiva.
Yep.
Whatever you do, just make sure you ready and you in that community watch party because it's going down like Frasier.
Ain't it? Down goes Frasier. Up goes WandaVision.
Yep, that's it, man. That's it.
That's
So man.
Yeah, WandaVision, man. Like, okay, so the past couple episodes, especially this week now, we had some Easter eggs explained. And then we had a couple things dropped that at very least, whether they're true or not, we don't know. But definitely got the speculatory juices going.
Yes, sir.
Especially when my man Josh was talking about the fact that Wonder Man could be, or supposed to be, debuted in WandaVision. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask, how many of y'all are familiar with Wonder Man? If you're not really familiar with Wonder Man, for you broke Vengers, let me get a 1. If you're not familiar with him, let me get a 1. If you know who Wonder Man is, let me get a 2. You Nerdvengers, I ain't gonna make it too complicated. If you know who he is, just give me a bunch of emojis, man.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll make that simple. If you don't know who he is, just sit down, be quiet. I'm gonna go through a little bit of the history. I'm gonna try not to go through the.
It looked like we got a little mixed bag. Got a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's a little and it's kind of sucky that my main Stormy ain't here because I remember Stormy being a little bit of a shield for Wonder Man because he was over, and I remember while we were doing the nerd card and having our community streams, that he was always asking Josh, like, where's Wonder Man? Where's Wonder Man? Like, don't do anything with Wonder Man. And
hey, well, it looks like Stormy might be getting his wish.
Yeah, it's never too late because now you might get to see him sometime in WandaVision.
Yeah,
and there's a lot. He's got ties with Doctor Doom.
Okay.
He's got some ties with the Kang the Conqueror because he's an Avenger.
Right. Okay.
And he's supposed to be the son of the rich industrialist Sanford Williams, who's the owner of Williams Innovations. Okay. So, he inherits the munitions factory after his father dies, but the company profits fall, because Tony Stark, man. Tony Stark's out there. You know what he was doing with all the weapons. Busting out the champagne out of the suitcase.
Yeah.
And selling the Jericho missile. You ever seen that little meme where he does that in a cartoon and it's like he keeps his hands up and he stays there because it flash fries his pants. It's hilarious.
Nah, I haven't seen that one.
But he's got ties with Zemo. Okay, so pretty much like all these people that are coming out that we know are going to be in, we got Zemo and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We Dr. Doom's going to be making his debuts either in the Black Panther 2 movie, which is what they're saying.
Yep.
You can see him in full guard possibly, but we're speculating that he's the benefactor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and take a look because I know he's part of the West Coast Avengers, but I wouldn't doubt it if yep, look at that. He's also journeyed to Hades where he battled Mephisto and Blackheart.
Well, damn.
And who are we supposedly supposed to get in WandaVision?
One Mephisto.
And possibly Nightmare. But I would not be surprised if they actually surprised everybody and went the Blackheart route. Because now Blackheart, some of you guys might be familiar with him in the games. So he was in the Marvel superheroes versus Captain games. So like if you don't know any lore about Blackheart, you probably are familiar with knowing who he is because of the games and stuff like that. But he has deep ties with Mephisto and people like Nightmare because he's in that little dark realm dimension that's out there. And he's tied in, got some stories with the X-Men and stuff like that.
Yep.
So and he's also a part of Secret Invasion.
Well, damn.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we're getting Secret Wars, but didn't Feige kind of announce that we're getting Secret Invasion?
Yes, he did.
Along with Armor Wars. And so like this is, to me, with all these ties to the new direction that MCU is going in, I would say that it is more than just a rumor that we're going to get Wonder Man.
Yeah.
I would say that's like a definite. But
yeah.
Who is he in WandaVision? Have we seen him already? Could he be the beekeeper?
Good question, bro. He could be. He very well could be, depending on how they want to spin his connection to Wanda. Like, he very well could be.
Right. So here and there we're getting such a character, and like Wonder Man, Wonder Man. Got that Wanda in there. He got some good abilities. You know what I'm saying? He can fly. He's got flight. He's got immortality, virtual invulnerability, superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, reflexes, enhanced vision and hearing. He's got a healing factor, of course. He's immortal. So got the iconic energy manipulation, power recycling. He's electromagnetic with that manipulation. He's got energy enhanced strikes, size alterations, shape shifting. Like this dude is practically the Martian Manhunter.
It's like, what do you don't do?
Right. He is practically the Martian Manhunter of the MCU. And I think that it is very ironic that we are starting to get the characters that mirror DC. So now DC, they got the Flash. They haven't got Martian Manhunter yet, but he's been teased in Man of Steel.
Yes.
And now we're starting to see that we're getting a Martian Manhunter-esque kind of character coming into MCU. And there was another
not a coincidence if you ask me, man.
I don't think so. Especially with these other tweets and stuff out there we're going to get into a little bit later. So Al, what do you think with a character like Wonder Man? Do you think that he's going to make a big impact either just like on the show or in the MCU as a whole, especially with the fact that we got so much Quantum Mania stuff happening? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like almost like a no-brainer that he's going to end up playing like a significant role in this story because look at everybody that you just mentioned that he's tied to. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he's got ties to characters. I mean, we talked about, Zemo being in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like we already know that's coming. And we already know that, it's almost a no-brainer that Mephisto is going to show up at some point in this series. Right. So it's like knowing what we know about what Feige's trying to do right now. And even if you just take everything surface level right now, you can say that even if you didn't know anything else, you would figure Feige's trying to take the lid off of it now. Like now that he's got Fox properties under his belt, now that he's got all of these new toys to play with, he's going to start, pulling. And he's probably going to be pulling from these obscure or lesser known properties because look what he did with the MCU and the Infinity Saga. Who was really talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy before we got that? You know what I'm saying? He's already proven that he likes to go and dig deep and bring some of these lesser known characters and really blow them up. So somebody like a Wonder Man, that's like a no brainer to me, that he would just all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, we about to introduce this cat. And the fact that he's so, connected with these characters, to me, it's like, I would be shocked if we didn't see him at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. And, I'm glad you said that. Who was really talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy before Feige? Like, I'm not going to front. When I heard Guardians of the Galaxy was coming out, I wasn't hyped for it. Not at all. People were asking if I was going to see it. I was in between. But, I mean, I had to give it up to Feige even at that time. And I was like, he's not put out he hasn't put out a horrible movie. I don't think you can really say anything were bad. Like the phase 2 movies, like they're rocky, man. Those like the second movies typically, it can be Wonder Woman, but
right.
So I watched it, and now I'm down with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I have zero qualms with Feige bringing in properties that we're not 100% familiar with. I mean, what are we about to get? Help me out here, guys. What are we about to get that we really don't know anything about? Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals movie. Mm-hmm.
How many people know about Eternals?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, I mean, and being real about it, like how many people were really up on Black Panther before he was introduced in the MCU? Like, you knew who he was, but he wasn't. When you start rattling off MCU superheroes, you'd probably name, let's say 5, 6, 7 before you even got to Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Or characters in general, not just heroes, because you got to think about like the X-Men and all of that. And those are the obvious ones, like X-Men, Fantastic Four. Those are the ones that everybody kind of knows and expects already. So Feige, and I think it's brilliant that he's introducing these lesser known characters now, or that he will be introducing them if we, say that that's what's going to happen in these episodic pieces of content, because that gives you time, whereas you don't have to. And again, what was one of the big knocks that people had on the Infinity Saga and those different phases? It was like, we're tired of seeing origin stories. Like it was like they introduce a character, then give you their origin story. And it just was like rinse, repeat. Whereas now you can take these shows and you can bring those characters in gradually and flesh out who they are, their background, and all of that throughout the course of several episodes. You could do it across multiple shows. Like it's just the possibilities are endless, man. And it's just,
and I feel like
it's crazy.
I feel like my man Feige, he's just going buck wild. Like, what would you do? Okay, like, when he first started, like, he had almost no choice. I'm not gonna say he had completely no choice, but he had almost no choice but to go the Infinity War Endgame route, because he didn't have certain things. But by the time my man got to Civil War, he was like, "Look, I'm sick and tired of playing with these same old toys, week in, week out. I need Spider-Man. Let me get Spider-Man."
Yep.
What did he do? He got Spider-Man. Yeah. And then after a while, he was like, "Spider-Man is great, but Spider-Man needs his friends. Let me get Fox. Fox, what y'all doing? Nothing? Come up off it, man." And now he's got all the toys he's been wanting to have since 2008. Okay?
Right.
If you had something that you had in your eye since 2008 and you finally acquire it 10 years later, just about, what would you do? I would be putting every toy that I just got on display, and having robots superimpose them every single time, doing something different every time I see them, just because I could. And I feel like that's exactly what he's doing with all this craziness that's going to be coming out this year. Like,
no, 100%. And that's what makes White Suge who White Suge is. Because White Suge's like, I done had this plan in my head for decades. You're not stopping this. Like, this ain't new. I'm on. All I got to do. And the crazy part about it is, the changes that he's making, the audibles he's calling, is just him reacting to what the competition is doing. But it doesn't require him to have to totally reshuffle anything, because he's already been thinking about all of this. Like, My man is just he's on.
Oh.
He's on, and he's got it's like he's got the whole thing figured out, and it's nothing that you could throw at him that he wouldn't be able to like navigate and make that work. Like
he's
making
doing
that
all
work.
one hand. Like he's even in voguing on DC right now, like one hand.
You know what I'm saying? With one hand, and
one hand. Like,
and then almost like clockwork, the homie SFC Pruitt 101 comes in to let us know I like turtles. I like turtles too, man.
I like turtles too. I got mine in the back in the tank right now. I can't pull them up and show you this time.
That's what's up. That's what's
we
up.
We missed you, SFC. We missed you.
Mm-hmm.
And your love for turtles.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I guess if you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna hit the Whiskey Steve with the $4.99.
Mm-hmm.
He said they better bring back Terrence Howard as either Iron Man or Wonder Man. I don't want to see him as either, man. Be honest. I don't want to see him.
Look, I'm telling you, I don't care. I need to get I need to see a scene where you have James Rose, Terrence Howard, and James Rose, Don Cheadle, and they just look at each other, and it's like he just go, "It is what it is, man." Like,
right.
just please make that happen, Feige. Please.
At least give him the Hustle and Flow Jericho when he comes back.
Oh man, look, like let's do the whole look.
The whole thing.
Speaking of, side note, why have we not seen an MC? Where are the Wayans at? Why have we not seen a superhero MCU parody movie?
I think that's because
is that because Disney don't?
They weren't good, and they got phased the hell out.
Like, you wasn't a fan of none of those movies?
Well, I mean, okay, so I seen a couple of them. I think I even seen the ones like superhero movie, and some of the even ones that the Wayans came out with, and they were just like. And I understand, comedies, they have their forced moments. They're supposed to be forced. That's what makes them funny. But some of them were just like the jokes were kind of redundant.
Well, like, I'm a person who does feel like the Scary Movie stopped being funny after Scary Movie 2. Like,
right.
That's my personal opinion. But I need to see somebody, like, just for the sake of putting Terrence Howard in it as a cameo. Like, just give me that, man. Just give me that. That's all I'm asking for.
Now that would be funny. I heard that they were making a comeback. That they were making certain movies, like they're supposed to make Scream. They're supposed to come back with Scream again.
Yeah.
They're coming back with the old child play movies, and they're redoing Michael Myers and all Jason and Freddy. Like they're redoing all these movies.
Not everything needs to be remade, though.
Right. But I heard that those were among the things to come back. But the biggest problem is that we had this worldly thing that happened, and put some of those things back a little bit. So we're just not in that space right now. We're waiting for Marvel to come back and save the movie theaters. If else, everything's just going to go straight to Netflix. And that's another thing too. A lot of those went straight to Netflix. So you didn't really, especially the Wayans. Like, didn't Marlon come out with that one Sextuplets or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Or that one movie where he was playing
something like that.
Freaking 5-6 different versions of himself. Some of it was funny, but it was a B-rated movie, and that's why you didn't really, you barely, if you watched it, you probably barely remember it. So
that's facts.
Yes.
But I don't know. I guess maybe it's time for a brief commercial break. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think we might be ready to have one Mr. The Godfather join us and talk some of this WandaVision. So why don't we scooch a little closer to the screen back here?
Yeah.
And while we do that, we go ahead and bring Godfather on so we can get it popping. How about that?
So we're going to do that right after these messages.
Indeed.
Don't be startled, non-Venger. Are you satisfied with your other nerd channels? Do you want a more engaging experience with your nerd content? Do you enjoy looking at Josh's face? Well then join the Nerdvengers, the most immersive nerd community around. Once you'll join, you'll gain access to wonderful extras like private watch parties, exclusive live streams, specialized Discord channels, merch perks, discounts, and much, much more. Join the best group of nerds on the internet. Don't be a non-Venger. Join the Nerdvengers today. Are you calling 911? Come on, Chet. Let's skedaddle.
All right.
Yes.
And there we
We're
go.
back.
And we're back.
With the Theory Hunter Godfather.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I see he got nice and trimmed up since the last time, man. You found you sharpened the rock and got clean out there on that island. I see you.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that rock. Was able to clean myself up a little bit. Didn't want to be looking all scraggly on picture, misrepresenting my younger self out there.
Right, he did a good job too. Got the hair hanging down the front and everything.
I'm telling you, man. Fresh as a daisy out here. Boy, look too clean.
Combed his beard.
Combed his beard. Look, I got the comb your beard shirt on too. He combed his beard. I like it.
Man, he came on last time looking like mustard, but now he look like ketchup.
Ketchup, yo. Hey,
Look like ketchup now.
that's what I try to tell him. I'm like, this ain't a spaceship. This is a Dodge.
It's a Dodge. Can't harm him.
I was able to find another beard, so should be good for
Hey, my man got another beer.
They're just washing up the shore, aren't they? He didn't
Look,
find it. Somebody watch it.
Hey, man,
Someone keeps like communicating to me, asking me what's going on, what's happening, and just the beers keep flowing.
So somebody's out there. Are they out there keeping you in touch with a lot of this nerdy news, man? While you're out there hunting for theories on WandaVision?
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
So have you found anything? Have you heard some things?
Well, I don't know what you guys have already been talking about, but I've been hearing some things about Wonder Man, about Grim Reaper.
Okay.
My thing tonight though is that I think we're gonna see Mrs. Hart in the last her last appearance on the show as throwback to that 70s show.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I got you. That sounds like a good one there. So I had a question for you. There's a couple things that I've seen, especially since Josh kept bringing them up. I had to go check it out. And I know the homie XR Coon. I know he's been out there checking them out too.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen something that said that Agnes is actually going to be turning it up on Vision a little bit. That Agnes is going to be possibly turning Vision into the object of her affection. Now that's a problem because obviously
Agnes or Dottie?
I heard it was Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I heard. I heard it was Agnes.
I've heard both. I've heard Agnes and Dottie. So we'll see how it turns out tonight.
Okay,
At least we're in color now, right?
Yeah,
Hey, that is a plus.
It could be Dottie. Okay. Could be Dottie. Dottie could be the one turning up. But perhaps I got that wrong because Dottie's going to turn up because of Agnes.
Well, could be.
Last week on the show, you and I were speculating that, Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness, which to me would make sense. You take Agatha, you take Harkness, you take out some of the consonants and vowels in between, you put together, you get Agnes.
Yep. It works.
To me, that makes, it works. It works.
It works.
Dottie.
But yeah, so
what are you thinking?
curious. I'm curious for Godfather. I want to know, what do you think the vibe of tonight's show will be like? Do you think we get another? I know it's going to be another kind of retro theme, but do we get any more hints at what's really going on, or do they still play into kind of the reality that Wanda and Vision are in right now? What do you think?
I think things are going to slowly start breaking apart. So we're still going to get the whole sitcom vibe. We're still going to get the whole retro vibe. But when it comes to what we experience as the audience, I think we're really going to start seeing that split where we see their interactions with reality, and then we get to see kind of the behind the scenes.
Okay, most definitely. I could totally see it going.
Yeah, no doubt.
seeing behind the scenes is where it's at. It's what we're really trying to get to,
Yeah.
because they've done a good job at keeping us out in our seat on watching the stage. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, they've given us a good view of what's going on from a perspective of not knowing anything at all.
gotcha, most definitely. So what do you think about this Wonder Man? What do you think about Wonder Man news coming? Him coming into the MCU through WandaVision.
All right, so after last week and hearing Paul Bettany talk about how this is really more of a kind of mix between House of M and the Vision, where they're really exploring Vision's family, that comic run, I went back and started reading that with my son, only to forget that Grim Reaper goes and stabs through Vision's kids in the first comic, and that first or second comic. Yeah, so it was seeing the Grim Reaper talk about that. It was like literally the night before they put stuff out there about how Wonder Man and Grim Reaper were going to be involved from that side, and so it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes total sense, especially since he has so many ties with a lot of the characters that are going to be pretty much into WandaVision. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Grim Reaper. It talks about Grim Reaper. His ties with having to go into that realm and fight Mephisto and Blackheart. Like, that's practically where we're headed, it seems like. Or we just don't know how we're going to get there exactly. So, yeah, I mean, that would make perfect sense. So, maybe I'll get this tweet right, because this is the one that's in the forefront. But what you got there? What you got there, Godfather?
Oh, I was just going to say one thing that I think I discussed with you guys, but for the rest of the fans out there, my long lost wife, which Josh will come to know soon, had never heard of Mephisto before. And when I mentioned that, she just looked at me and went, Mephisto? For all of you out there watching WandaVision tonight and thinking about how Mephisto plays into this, I'll get that 13-year-old impression for how you can think about it for the rest of the season.
So, like I said, I got another one for you then. So there's another tweet that came from your boy, not Roger Wardell, and he's saying
not Roger Wardell or Fevin Feige, because I heard Fevin Feige was talking shit about you.
He's changing his name, man. I heard all of them. They all talking shit about me, man. I'm on After Dark, man.
It's just the way it comes, man. It's just the way it comes, man.
I take it in stride. What do you feel about Vision? So walking through it pretty much in a nutshell, he's saying that the Vision character, possibly Paul Bettany, could turn into, or is supposed to turn into, the Wizard.
Yo, I don't want to hear about your Wizard, Lavis.
No, we're not hearing about my Wizard. We're apparently hearing about Kevin Feige's Wizard. I do.
I don't know.
Been throwing that around for a while. So, do you have any?
No, I don't think. I don't think we have a good picture as far as what Vision really is at this point. We know what he is from our interactions in the MCU, and that's how everyone came into this and how everyone is thinking about Vision. And everyone's still wondering how that indestructible head had his head ripped halfway off by Thanos. But the whole idea is, Vision isn't what Vision that we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not the same Vision.
Right. And, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was like literally the first joke that they threw at everybody in the first episode, is him getting smacked in the head with a plate and it breaks. And all of a sudden now my man got an indestructible head. But we know that's not true.
Right.
We totally. So it's like, okay, so who is Vision then? Is he just do you think he's just a construct in her mind, or do you think that there's a physical person playing Vision, but it's not obviously him? What do you think?
I don't think it really matters. Vision is obviously not the vision of the MCU that we know. So Vision is really just there to be the pawn for whoever's doing this to Wanda.
Right. All right. That makes sense. What do you think, Al? You think he's a construct, or do you think that he is a physical person disguised as Vision?
I think he's a physical person disguised as Vision, but I think what we might learn is that somebody might be trying to manipulate Wanda in such a way that she manifests him and is able to keep him, that manifestation of Vision as in reality. And I think this is the same thing that we might get with, the whole thing with the children, is that they're not, she's not technically pregnant, but that she's going to manifest these kids in, this alternate reality she's created. And somebody's going to try to, whoever's manipulating things behind the scenes are trying to do so in a way that allows these characters to still remain even after she, quote unquote, snaps out of it. So that's kind of the way I see it rolling. But Godfather, do you think?
So I got a question for you there.
Okay,
Al,
what's up?
Because you say that Vision is an actor, Vision is someone else that's playing this part, and that kind of fits in the whole Simon Williams Wonder Man thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, if he's playing the part of Vision and isn't really Vision, and I guess we got to establish whether or not the Hearts and everybody else in the town are actual people or just, manifestations. How's he sticking his hand in Mr. Hart's chest if he's not really Vision?
That's a good question. That's a damn good question, because it could be, I don't really have an answer for that, to be honest with you. I didn't even think about that. But no,
a bit of perspective.
Yeah, that could be. It could be a number of things. It could be somebody like maybe she's manipulating, or the person that's kind of playing him is allowing her to manipulate that whole reality in a way to where they're kind of just passively letting her control that one aspect. Or it could be, a situation where it turns out that maybe that's not somebody else. But Lavis, what you thinking, bro?
Well, I'm thinking that moment right there, and I saw my main Trinity, Second Street Marvel, pop in and say that there are Easter eggs of the Wizard in episode 2. I think that it is very possible that in the end, Vision could turn out to be an innocent bystander like the Wizard, because pretty much like I said, so Wonder Man is the Martian Manhunter of the DC world, you know what I'm saying? The MCU world, he's the Martian Manhunter. The Wizard is practically the Flash of the MCU world.
Mm-hmm.
So he can phase through things just like Vision does, just like he's got the same powers as the Flash does. Flash can phase through stuff. He's got the super speed and all that stuff. But here's the kick, and here's where I think that it's probably where it's going to get crazy. I could be wrong, of course. It's just speculation.
Fair,
but
fair.
I think Vision could possibly be both. I think at times he's Wonder Man, and at times he's and it just depends on the situation in which she needs those types of powers. You know what I'm saying? Because I see y'all in there talk about Mike Hosley. He's not a he's not a shapeshifter. That's right. He's not a shapeshifter. But
So I don't think you should be listening to the 5 and 6 and 7 head of security in the tower. Trinity is he's got his role, but we don't need to be listening to the 4 head of security.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You better put some respect on top flight security of the world.
He was on it, man. I hit somebody, hit him right back earlier today in the morning show. He was like, "No, Lavis, I got this. I got this."
He was on it.
Hit me with the little rock on.
Oh man.
Like, hell out of here, Lavis. Let me do my job. So I was like, my bad. I gave him back his little magnetic wand, and he was checking and knighting Nerdvengers all day. All I heard was
and I knew something was missing. Man. You got your
it's
shades on
so
now.
bright out
Okay.
here.
There you go.
Yeah, it's so bright out here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Saying the sun is rising.
Indeed, it is.
It's not after dark unless the sun's starting to rise.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
It done went down on this end of things. So, yeah. So, okay, like we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Next predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this next episode? Al, I'll kick it to you. What do you think is going to happen in this next episode of WandaVision?
I think we get our first reveal of the children in this episode. Okay. We might not get to see them, but in terms of know who they are just yet. But I think we do get to see those two little bundles of joy in this episode. I think that there is a little bit more behind the curtain action, maybe at the end of the episode, not so much during, but that, there's a little more light shed on what's really going on in this episode. Like, I still don't think you'll get the final, but I think this will be the episode where fans, normies, really start to see, okay, something ain't right here. Like, something is definitely not right. And so I think we definitely get some of that. What about you, Godfather? What you thinking about tonight?
What you thinking about?
My big question is whether this is the episode that we get the Halloween costumes. Because I keep going back to, obviously we're in color now, so now everything is kind of focused around where do all of the color scenes fit in, and where are we going to see those things? So obviously there's some stuff we've seen in trailers that's going to be kind of tied to different eras. I really want to see Deborah Jo Rupp, Mrs. Hart, as Mrs. Foreman, at least as a call back to that 70s show. Apparently she still has maybe one more appearance in the series, and that would be a great thing to see. So but as far as overall story, I think looking at how they've released this to the critics and how we're going to experience it as fans, I think this is the hook. This is the one where, at least at the end of the episode, we're going to really see we're going to get that hook to keep us watching the rest of the other 6 episodes.
Yeah, most definitely.
But beyond that, I really see it similar to the first 2 episodes of a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of setting up for the final 6. 4, 5, and 6 is where I think we're going to see some really big teases and reveals. And then 7, 8, 9 is where we're going to wonder where the hell this is going into the rest of the MCU.
Right.
That's what's up.
So you guys both pretty much brought up the children. Let's backtrack on
for
that.
the children.
For the children.
So we kind of seen a bit of a cult-esque type thing on both fronts when it came to Vision and Wanda. Both of them found their own kind of little culty thing to get into, neighborhood watch, and she's trying to get into pretty much the ins and outs, the dealing with the town with the ladies. So see them, the for the children, and then we kind of see her say it. But she don't say it like they do. She's saying it like she's trying to fit in, for the children. So in the comics, there is another little phrase that she says of 3 words. And that's pretty much undoing things, where she says, no more mutants. Do you think that for the MCU, since we don't have mutants, that for the children is kind of like the doing of instead of the undoing? With no more mutants, Godfather, what do you think? Do you think for the children is going to be that phrase that brings mutants into the MCU?
Well, now that you put it that way, I'm thinking that. It's a interesting thought. It's an interesting way of doing it. I always wanted it to be putting the comma in there and just saying no, comma, more mutants, but
I feel that.
I don't know. I think that the children are going to be, obviously the children are the big plot point here. So that could be how Kevin decides to bring them in, and I'm fine with that. I just want the mutants in, and I want to be able to experience all of Marvel together and not have to try to figure out where things are going to be introduced without talking about them. You know, talking about how Kevin wanted to bring Spider-Man and the mutants in all the way back in Iron Man.
Right.
You know, that's just someone that has that vision from day one and is just, you know, dead set on making that happen. And now that he has all of it, I don't see how he can keep from introducing them.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
I tell. What do you think, Al? You think For the Children is going to be the doing of mutants, or do you think it's got something else, some other kind of implication, something more with Mephisto and his energy and manifesting him? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm like the homie. I'm like the homie Godfather, man. Like, now that you put it that way, I can totally see that as being kind of like the alpha or the beginning of mutants, and that being the introduction, and then playing it that way. Because if you think about it, the children literally might be the first real introduction of mutants that we get in, you know, the MCU. So I could totally see that being a play and a sly way to kind of introduce that, because that might be what, you know, we're getting down to the nitty gritty of what this is all about. You know, we're sitting here saying that it has to do with them trying to, you know, manifest what she's doing in this dream, if you will, into reality. And it might be that some, you know, they think that this is the next step. I mean, even to take it even, you know, to go super meta with it, it could be a situation where somebody's made a decision that, you know what, Earth's mightiest heroes ain't enough. The Avengers ain't enough. We need something. We need the next level. And this is the way that we fast track this, is by introducing them and manipulating her to do so. So I'm really digging that idea, man. And I can totally see that being the case.
Right. I can totally get behind that too, especially if that's how they're doing it. So that also brings me to my next point, and I want to see my main Trinity flex his little brain, his comic brain on this. So
flex that 5 head.
right, Trinity 4 head, 5 head, I suppose. So we're talking about rumors of the Wizard, okay? And I think that would have huge implications on the direction of the MCU, for the simple fact of, you know, we're talking about Fantastic Four, well known. We're talking about X-Men, well known. Then we brought up the point of, you know, him bringing in things that we didn't know too much about. So then we had Guardians of the Galaxy. Now is well known. We're going to have Eternals. That's going to become, I'm pretty sure, another group of well-knowns. We got the Thunderbolts that they're talking about introducing. It's about to be another group of, you know, it's a group of villains, actually, that's about to become well-known. And, you know, it trickles on down there. We're getting more of these groups coming into the MCU, or at least being rumored to come into the MCU. With the Wizard, that actually brings about another little group that could possibly be introduced, the Squadron Supreme. And there are people who are on the Squadron Supreme, and that's from a different universe. I think that's Earth 712, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But to me, if you go bust down the Squadron Supreme, you get strong DC vibes. Okay, you get very strong DC vibes. Starting off with Dr. Spectrum. Now, what does that sound to you? Sound like Dr. Fate?
Yeah.
Dr. Fate. I'm pretty sure if you were to look at their powers, they would probably be very similar. Hyperion. We all are waiting for Hyperion. Like, we've been talking about Hyperion since Guardians of the Galaxy 2. You know what I'm saying? Adam Warlock. You know what I'm saying? We were waiting for him. There's a couple comics where the Squadron Supreme show up with Adam Warlock. Did we get, you know, people like, you know, Nighthawk? They got Power Princess. Power Princess kind of is like the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Of the MCU. You got Nuke, you got Tom Thumb. You know, these are like, you try to trickle it down a little bit. These are like the little lesser known of the DC characters brought into, you know, the MCU form. But to me, I want to focus more on the fact that okay, so the Wizard is in this group of people. I don't feel like they'll bring in characters like Amphibian. I don't feel like they'll bring in characters like maybe you'll get the Skrully and Skymaster, especially since we're talking about Hydra Cap could possibly be an evil Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
You got Golden Archer. That's pretty much like Green Arrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Saying, I feel like that they're gonna pick and choose people like Doctor Spectrum. We're finally gonna get people like Hyperion. Might pick a little bit of Power Princess. We might get Nighthawk. And then they bring in another group of heroes. And this is a freaking amazing thing because you have all these different factions, and this is what I was thinking. It was like, okay, we're talking about bringing in the Thunderbolts, we're talking about bringing in a couple other villain factions, and all we got are the Avengers.
Yeah,
and they haven't even spoken about the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what are we gonna do? We got all these factions of villains. It makes perfect sense if you pair up people like, because we have to wait for the X-Men. So I know everybody's like, oh, pair up the X-Men. Not yet. But it would make perfect sense if you paired up a group like the Eternals with a group like Squadron Supreme going up against groups like the Thunderbolts and some of these other villain factions that we're going to have come in. That makes better sense. A lot. Not really talking too much about the Avengers. What are you thinking, Godfather? What you think?
All right. So when we're looking at the Squadron Supreme and we're looking at how Wizard fits into that, or how the MCU could introduce that, we really got to look at like kind of the original 4 members back in the 712 version, which is Vision, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Goliath.
Right.
So if we're talking about how that kind of fits in with the current MCU and how they're looking to introduce it, there's a very simple kind of way to do that. And talking about kind of the mystery actor that was supposed to be Dick Van Dyke or Evan Peters or whoever else people have been thinking about. There's obviously we've got some tie-ins with people from Ant-Man with Wu, and we've got other kind of tie-ins from across the MCU. So what if we get Lawrence Fishburne in this?
Hey, look, I'm with
Goliath.
That would be dope. You could get to see them pay that off, like they brought that up in Ant-Man 2.
Yeah,
pay that off
exactly.
That's totally dope. But I think it's amazing that there's, if you watching all of these little Easter eggs that they're popping off, you're not just getting 1 or 2 characters in essence to start off. Yeah. But these characters all tie into like massive of groups. You know what I'm saying? Like once we get X-Men, how far behind is a group like Alpha Flight?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the magic, and that's what, again, that's what makes White Suge, because it's not only that you sit here and we can speculate about who we think might show up or how they might be connected, but it basically puts it to where you can't, like, even with the spoiler talk, you know what I'm saying? And we've been dealing with that here, at the Den, the Nerdvengers Tower. We've been getting a little bit of fan mail talking about you're spoiling the experience, man. Miss me with all that shit. Don't watch. You know what I'm saying?
With all that that they're coming off with, they should be preserving what they
you know what I'm saying?
spoiled.
But no, it's like, but the thing is it really spoilers though at this point? Because look at what we just rattled off in terms of possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we went from Wonder Man to the Wizard. Then we talking about Squadron Supreme. Like we are officially at a point where like Feige's got all the toys in the toy chest now. So we don't know which way it could go. And I mean, yeah, we hear things and we understand, we can put 2 and 2 together and kind of figure stuff out when we get like certain leaks or whatnot. But in terms of actually getting a clear picture of how all of this is going to lay out, you'd be crazy to think that Feige's not tracing his steps and making sure that there's as much misinformation and disinformation out there when it comes to this stuff as there is legit leaks. Like that's just the way this man is playing the game. So it makes it, the speculation and the leaks and the spoilers or whatever. It's like, it's almost like a game because you turn around and it's like, okay, well, this is the way I think it's gonna go. This is the way I think it's gonna go, and then you get to sit there and watch together and find out who was close, who nailed it. You know what I'm saying? Or both be surprised.
Hey. Who's that guy back there behind me?
Oh man, look, you got a whole gang of people out there with you now, bro.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. Is that?
I thought them was your peoples, man. I thought them was your peoples.
So they was helping you find these theories, man. You just now noticing them? That's
first time I seen him.
Oh man. Yeah, they back there. I thought y'all was getting it, about to get y'all's barbecue or something on, get a little beach party going or something.
Stuff, you know what
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot,
yeah.
Red shirt, that's bright.
I know you can't miss them, man. Can't miss them at all. But hey,
that
man,
5 times.
We got enough. Well, we probably don't have enough purple drink for him now. You probably drank it all.
I can always make more, man. That's the good thing about it.
That's
I got all
the
these
loveliness. That's
the
the
Send it over to the island.
Hey,
to the island. He said, "Send it over to the island."
Send it to the island. And on that note, I think it's time to get into some conversation and libation. Yeah.
So yes, on that, and while we get into combo and libation, I got a question for all y'all. I got a question for every one of all of y'all. I want to see what are we expecting from this next episode out of 10.
Yeah.
Out of 10 purple mains, what are we giving it? Are we giving it like a 7 or 8? Where you Al? What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give this episode a 7.5.
You think this next episode is gonna be about 7.5?
I think it's gonna be and let me say this. So the first 2 episodes, I would go 8 and 7.5.
Okay. So
the first episode, I gave it an 8 just because I felt like they nailed that 50s theme and the timing of the comedy and everything else. I thought was dope. I think by the time you get to the second episode, it's like, all right, we've already seen this. Can we get to like where we really going with it? And so that's why I said 7.5. I think this episode is going to be more of the same. It'll be enough to where we get some real good juicy stuff, but it's still going to be one of those, all right, when are we going to like blow the lid off this joint? 7.5 for me tonight.
7.5 for you tonight. Okay, what about you, Godfather? Go ahead. What did you get the first 2 episodes as far as the rating? And what do you think?
No. But before I give my expert opinion, I want to hear what you have to say, Lavis.
Oh, you want to hear what I got?
I like that.
Yeah. Expert opinion. Okay, I'm gonna ask. When I'm done, I'm gonna ask you like that too. Maybe your expert opinion.
There you go.
For me, first 2 episodes, realistically, I gave the first episode a 9 because, like you said, they really did capture the old school presence. Feel kind of brought me back, especially in these times now. Brought me back to watching that stuff with my mom. So they nailed it. I like watching Elizabeth Olsen play that kind of a character. It kind of made you really feel like you was back in the day with that. And I think Paul Bettany's killing it, playing this version of Vision. So I gave the first episode a 9. The second episode I gave it a 10 actually, because I caught myself kind of grinning, especially during that magic show.
Yeah.
And then seeing him like kind of be drunk and thinking of it like Vision and how he's always uptight and straightforward and honest. And then see him like drunk and he's like flourish and he's bound like
flourish.
Yeah, I caught myself kind of smiling, and then like by the end of it, I was like, okay, you guys got me on a subliminal level here. So I gave that next episode a 10.
Okay.
So tonight, I'm actually going to not give it so high of a praise just yet. I'm actually going to give it about an 8.5 to a 9. Although I realistically think, like Godfather said, I think it's going to hook. I think it's really going to hook everybody, and they're going to come back with 10s. But in your expert opinion, there, Godfather, what do you think? What did you give these?
In my expert opinion,
yes,
we started off with about a 7.5.
Okay.
We hooked in everyone that was already ready to go we got people that were on the fence and just kind of thought that this was weird. And then episode 2, we moved into more like an 8.5. Because the first half of the second episode was really kind of just more of the same, like Al was saying. But as we moved towards the end, it really picked up there and started hooking people. And again, flourish. That's the new saying around the island here.
Flourish.
Okay.
Flourish.
Since you're around all that floral out there.
Yeah. So and then moving into tonight, I think it's gonna be a lot like the second episode, where we start off with a lot of the same, where we feel comfortable, and then it builds right at the end to something that people aren't ready for, and people are gonna be ready for next week to come a lot quicker.
God, and
So-
a lot more ways than one. You want to put it that way?
Yep.
Yeah,
Putting the number on it's gonna be start off as an 8.5 and growing
okay.
in that.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so we're on the same page then about this episode. My 8.5, possibly with the hookers that we're gonna get. All them hookers.
Yeah.
You know how y'all.
All those hookers make that rating grow week by week.
Right.
That's
most
it.
Definitely. Smash that like with some hookers in WandaVision. But I see Jared Loveberry. He said he's gonna give it a 9.7.
Mm-hmm.
John Johnson, he's gonna give it an 8. I see some 10s. I see quite a few 10s. You guys have done some more 8s. Some
Yeah.
10s.
Yeah.
10. I see some 7s.
See album.
Some 7.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt Wizard, he's going all the way out. He gives it about a 15. Most definitely. So, okay, most definitely. People have some really high expectations. And I think, despite the fact, I think people are probably starting to come around and look at the show for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not a Mandalorian. It's something different that actually is really good for the family. It really does take us old heads, us sweaties back. It takes the old heads back, seeing it in black and white, like talking about, and we all get a mystery. And I think the mind likes that. You know what I'm saying? Be able to watch something and have it be able to try to figure out what the hell is going on. I think that's what we like.
Yeah. So I one of those guys back there that is sitting on that beach is the guy that vacuums up the sand, and he and I were talking earlier this week about how the first episode really caught him off guard, and how it was something that he thought was gonna be something different than it was. He's a Star Wars fan. We chat about Star Wars from time to time.
Okay.
But we were talking about how his name is AJ, by the way.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Hey, AJ. So yeah, AJ and I were talking about how this is much different than the Mandalorian experience.
Oh yeah.
Without question. Without question.
It's gonna build in a very different way, and so the whole idea around how this gets presented week by week is what's really kind of exciting to see how it pulls in different audiences every week.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I see you guys pouring in with these super chats. So I'm gonna take it way back. Way back in time. And I'm gonna start off with the OG fan when he hit us with the $2.
Yep.
He said, that's White Suge limiting DC's options, 60 chests. Yes, most definitely. Especially with him introducing these DC-esque characters. I think he's about to step on the neck, man. What do you think?
Man, look, if Feige ain't showed you what's really going down, then you ain't been paying attention. This man is home running it over and over again. And that's all it's gonna be, man. You just gonna have to, live in his world, man.
Right. Most definitely. We had Jonathan Velasquez. He came through with the $2. Thank y'all. He said the Wayans made a superhero movie. Blank Man. Blickety blick blick. Yes. Yeah, that was epic. That was totally epic.
Hey,
how'd you feel about that, Godfather?
I know you got. Did you see Blank Man, sir?
Right.
So I've been on this island for a long time, and I didn't get a chance to see Blank Man, although I've heard about it.
I feel like if we do a watch party, that's got to be the first movie we do.
That's gonna have to be. It's a toss up, man. We might have to vote between that and Meteor, man.
I see. Look, you read my mind because I was just gonna say it's tough between those two. Look, you can't have fun without the Golden Lords, man.
This must be some special kind of purple drink, because I'm having Thor moments over here, seeing the future and just cutting you off.
Yeah, man. You've been on it. You've been on it, man. But it's all good. I'm gonna let you make it today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
Stick together, man. We gotta stick together.
Mm-hmm.
We got Drew Bell with the $5 holla. He said, "Who wins in a full-on fight, Scarlet Witch or Jean Grey with full-on Phoenix Force?" What do you guys think?
I mean, that's no question.
Well, go ahead.
It's clearly all of us getting to watch it.
Right. That's
Mm-hmm.
But Phoenix
concur.
wins all the damn day long.
Yeah.
Why? He says Phoenix. Okay. What do you think, Al? Look,
I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna say this. You can't flip with the Phoenix Force, man. Like, I don't know if there's nothing you can do with that. You got to show me something, Wanda Maximoff. I need to see something.
You need some Maximoff.
Yeah, for real.
Totally.
So Feige stepped up and said that Wanda was probably the most powerful in the MCU. That's only because we haven't gotten the Phoenix.
Right.
Exactamundo.
We have not.
So, I have to agree with that one, man. And then we got Pete Afato, the $9.99. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Hey, y'all, my 6-year-old bro, Max, wanted me to tell y'all you're dope. He said, love the show, and I think that the commercial ads will play a role in the story. What are your guys' thoughts? I think so, too. What do you think, Al? You think that the commercial roles are playing an actual bigger part than they seem?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to Max for hanging with the After Dark folks.
Yes.
You know what, Max? Props to you, man. You 6 and already know what's happening, bro. You on the right track. But yeah, man, I think these commercials definitely gonna play a role in what's going on, and I think it's gonna, like I said last week, man. WandaVision is gonna be one of those shows that we gonna have to go back and watch after we know exactly what's going down, because it's gonna be so much stuff that you realize you didn't really understand or you didn't catch on that initial watch through because you don't have the context yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's going to be the crazy thing. And so, no, I definitely think those commercials are going to play a role. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Godfather? Looking at my screen.
Oh, yeah. The commercials are definitely going to be the backstory to all this.
Yeah.
What I really want to see is the actors that they're continuing to put in those. I want to see something that's gonna tie them into the larger story.
Right.
I feel that most definitely. I'm waiting, man. We're getting there. It's only 2 episodes in, and we got a lot of speculation to go through. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Then shout out to the homie Alex with the $10 hollow. Thank you, man. He said, "I'm thinking an 8, but I want a 10." Most definitely. I'm thinking that the show is gonna be about 8, but 8.5.
Yeah, that's why, you know, to put a little context behind my scores. That's exactly why I gave them the scores that I gave. I didn't go more than 8 because I'm waiting for the episodes where we blow the lid off and it's like, okay, yeah, we didn't hit the 10 game now. That's what I'm waiting. Right. I'm waiting because I know it's coming and I just can't see those episodes being anywhere near as good or be these first few episodes be anywhere near as good as the ones we get later on down the line. So that's where I'm at with it.
But is 10 the real limit?
It depends on how good it gets, man.
Yeah.
Depends on how good it gets.
Because we always say it's a rating from 1 to 10, but realistically, we've seen the chat. We know that the rating doesn't end at 10. So.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah. It went up to as high as 15. So
yeah,
got some untapped energy in there. I see Night Monkey. He said Wanda needs to explain what happened to her accent. Hey, I agree. Okay.
Hey,
Not Russian no more after Age of Ultron.
Hey,
She
man.
was no longer
She was Americanized. You just missed that part because we went forward in time a little bit. So she already dropped.
Yeah.
You know how that go. You get here,
Mhm.
that accent goes after a while for most.
I think
for
they
most
had
folks.
to do that because the Black Widow, you know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be Russian, and she didn't have a lick of a
Not
Russian accent
a
at
bit.
all. So they're just showing you that the Avengers are effective at
Yes.
Americanizing.
Oh yes, of course.
You forget that this is a construct of Wanda's imagination, so
Maybe Wanda
she's
didn't like
just
her
projecting an
accent. Hey, there
American
we go.
accent
Man, she's been projecting American
to
accent
fit
since
in
Civil
with the
War.
neighborhood.
She's been doing it since Civil War then, because Civil War, I think that was the beginning of her losing it. There was like scenes that she spoke like she had a Russian accent. And then by the time they got to the airport,
Mhm.
old girl had no accent left at all. She was
Whatsoever.
fully, somebody beat the American
all
in
right,
her.
but let's really dial this back, because realistically, Wanda is trying to fit into Hackensack, New Jersey. And if you and I, the three of us, know anything, the kind of people that live in Hackensack, you gotta make sure that's an American accent, right?
Big facts.
Most
Big
definitely,
facts.
yeah. That makes sense. Roz Ceylon says that they pushing Black Widow out again.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why not?
I mean, at this point,
honest,
that's the running joke, right? Just keep pushing it back.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
don't even have a premiere at this point. Like, don't even just drop Black Widow casually on Disney Plus one day without telling nobody shit.
right?
Just throw
You
it
know what
out
I'm
there
saying?
one day and let people be like, "Oh, Black Widow is on." Like, at this point, I mean, just give somebody a freebie.
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm starting to see some interesting stuff pop up in here. One of them
I'm starting to
kinda
see
got back.
Fanjexer set tripping in here talking about hashtag North Jersey sucks. Y'all gonna
It
take
does,
that
though.
North Jersey? Y'all gonna
He
take
could
that?
take off. He could just take off North part and just leave Jersey sucks.
Oh,
as
see,
a
look.
New Yorker, I have no
See,
Yeah,
that's
problem.
you know.
That's that
Sexy.
New York, New Jersey beef. I don't know. Down in
Hey,
Texas,
hey,
we so
hey,
damn big. We ain't got time for all that.
We-
Although there is this
We don't
thing.
need the moderator popping on here.
Yeah. Facts, big facts.
Moderator
big facts.
is a menace. Okay, he thinks it's all right for him to swing through here and then save the day by dropping Discord links. But he is a menace. Okay, he be timing people out. He be hiding people. And some of them just a little spam. They just want to be seen in the chat. These people just want to be saved by the After Darkians.
Yeah,
He's a
this
menace.
man.
Moderator
Y'all hear this,
man.
He is you like ready for this. You got a problem with this dude. Y'all gonna have to work it out.
I want moderator man. He knows. He knows why. You know why too. He's in the archive story.
Give me some green sabers in the chat if y'all want a lavish moderator showdown. Like, let me see some green sabers if you'd be down to see that. Because at this point, y'all just gotta hash it out, man. I don't know if if y'all just have some kind of a debate off or something, but maybe y'all could freestyle battle like 8 Mile. Like,
I would win. I would totally.
hey,
you know what? I would
don't
wind up
underestimate the moderator.
I would wind up being the Elmer Fudd, like they did my man on Robot Chicken, where they had Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny teeing off. I think I heard you listen to it. You know Elmer Fudd won that.
Hey, he did
Elmer
have bars. That boy did come with some heat though. Like,
It's
low
never
key.
too far, man. Texture. You live in Jersey.
So what y'all thinking, man? 4 more minutes and we skirt on up out of here and get ready for this watch party.
Man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Never
Hit
know
us
we
with
here
any
for-
last minute super two ways, any questions, any
Bob-
preguntas, as we say down here in the Southwest.
He says Black Widow is going to be the MCU's WW84. I do not.
Slow
think
your
that-
roll, sir.
No.
Hey, you're acting like we're actually gonna see Black Widow.
Facts.
You
He
know
ain't
what?
lying.
We're gonna have to have. By the time it comes out, it's gonna be 2 Black Widows, okay? Because I plan on at least getting married, and I'm probably gonna pass away, leave her behind. So a Black Widow might be watching Black Widow sometime in the next 35, 40 years.
I'm with
Probably
it.
what's what-
By the
Right.
time we get to see Black Widow, it's gonna be a documentary on the MCU
my
during
wife.
the time of the pandemic.
Right. That's all that's gonna be.
For real.
Be two of them things. Both of them things. Man, I just think they're pushing off Black Widow because it doesn't have nothing to do with none of the new stuff that's coming out, man. It's already a story that's supposedly already been told. We just really want to know what the hell happened in Budapest. That's it.
That's it. That's all anybody cares about.
I don't want to know.
And then they keep
their
pushing
story.
on my man, Taskmaster. I want to see some Taskmaster.
Remember when we thought Taskmaster meant something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we still feel this way? Anybody? Do we still feel like Taskmaster is anything other than a villain just for this movie?
I think Taskmaster lives matter.
Hey, man. Well, we'll see.
I think Red Guardian lives matter.
Red Guardian lives matter.
Hey, I'm with that too. Let's make it happen.
Where they're actually
Red Guardian guts matter.
Yep. I'm with that too. I'm with all of it.
I mean, Pato came back with $1.99. Said Evan
Yep.
Peters tonight. Get Evan Peters tonight, boys.
I'm gonna say. No, it's not going down. You already knew. You knew when I put the hand up.
Yeah, I did. I totally did. So, yeah, I don't think so either, man. What do you think, Godfather? You think we can get Evan Peters? You can get Evan Peters?
I think we may get something that looks like Evan's Peter, but that's about it.
Oh, man. WandaVision's going to go from rated G to rated get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And on that note,
right,
I think it's time for us to ride out.
Yes,
now,
sir.
like we always say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. God,
leave.
Lavis, it's been real, homies.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Godfather.
I think we will have to catch them in the next episode.
Hey. Lavish Log, start date 1/21/2021. Today we had another bomb-ass show of After Dark and speculated on many different characters who could be spinning out of WandaVision. But one thing is for sure, that they're definitely going to be out in these streets. Nerdvengers